Today I am reviewing one of the best value vintage homages on the market, something you've probably heard a million times. However, this one's a little bit different to the rest and I haven't seen it attempted before. Let me introduce you to it. Hi guys, my name is Jason and I am your watch guy today. Today I'm reviewing the Baltany Type 20 S205054. Yeah, I know, a really catchy name. I'm just going to call it the Type 20. It is inspired by the Hanar's Pioneer Chronograph, a watch that is steeped in history, but this one is a much more affordable price and with a few modern twists. It's available through Baltany's store on Aliexpress. I've linked that in the description. This one's been sent to me for free. I don't have to send it back. With that out of the way, let's go to what you've actually come here for. Let's get into it. I absolutely love Baltany's take on vintage homages. This one takes inspiration from the classic Hanar's Pioneer chronographs, a classic watch that is still present in the market today. The chocolate colour to the dial gives an out-of-the-box tropical effect to the watch. This one's equipped with a Miyota 6S21 quick reset chronograph movement. The quartz movement in this piece keeps it at a super affordable price at only £130. That's on the Baltany store, and for the quality, I think it's well worth it. The polished chamfered edges to the case really adds to the vintage vibe of this piece for me, and certainly adds a level of quality to it. The brushing that accents that through the sides and the lugs is really the Baltany quality that I expect. This casing also sits super nice on my wrist. Let's get into those dimensions. In diameter, I have it at 39.5 millimeters, 12.7 millimeters thick, including that slightly domed sapphire crystal. Lug to lug is 46.6 millimeters, and these lugs are the classic 20 millimeter lugs. This watch screams vintage pilot to me, even down to the queen edge domed bezel. That bezel is fully stainless steel. It has a brushed effect and a single red triangle marking at the 12 o'clock. The friction fit on this one isn't something that you see very often in the market nowadays, especially with this level of quality. We have a sapphire crystal fitted in this one. As well as that, it is a screw down case back with very minimal markings to it. All we can see here is the brand, the model, and the year that it was built. Very military style to that. Finishing up on the casing, this watch is provided with 15 meters of water resistance, which is probably what you'd expect from a pilot watch with a chronograph function. The dial really distinguishes the watch for me. The chocolate colour gives a tropical effect to the watch, almost like it's been pre-aged. It's a simple chronograph layout with the two subdials either side of the handset. This movement affords us a mechanical reset to the chronograph hand, controlled by the piston-shaped pushers at the side of the casing, which sit either side of this pilot-style crown. I really like the sizing of this crown. It has a really thin profile and a large diameter, which makes it super easy to use along with that coin edge finish to it. The dial markings, including the subdial markings, have an aged effect to them in an almost golden colour. Not something I'm always a fan of, but something that definitely works in this case. One thing that I am a massive fan of is the numerals on this dial. I think they aid the legibility of the piece no end, and they also suit the vintage style of the dial itself. Another nice feature is that these subdials are recessed into the dial itself, giving a really quality look to it. A vintage syringe handset finishes this dial along with an arrowhead chronograph hand. The numerals and the handset are loomed on this piece, so let's have a look at them. The loom on this one is pretty bright. That's what you can come to expect when you spend a little bit more money on AliExpress pieces. I like that they've also loomed the subdials. That definitely adds to the watch for me. The numerals, really nice and bright, as is the handset, and they've even given a different colour loom to the chronograph hand, the second hand, and the minute chronograph. That's a really nice touch from them. I think it definitely deserves a 7 out of 10 for me. Not super inventive, but they've definitely done enough to secure a good loom shot and added a little bit of flair in there. Nice to see from Baltany. The band choice, as always from Baltany, is perfect for this watch. A vintage style leather band with small levels of stitching is exactly what this piece was calling for. The brown leather accents this dial perfectly and really adds to the pilot style of the watch. I know what you're waiting for. It's time to get this one on wrist. As mentioned, this one's been really nice to wear. easy pick up and go quartz piece with a chronograph function. What's not to love? It gives a little bit more flair than the usual watch that I wear with that chocolate dial. As I say, it definitely gives a almost tropical effect to it straight out of the box, and that's not something that you see very often on the market. I think that this is definitely something that a lot of people could do with in their collection. It just screams vintage to me, and that is very attractive to a lot of collectors. I think on my 6¼ inch wrists, this is probably the smallest wrist size that you could fit this to comfortably. I think bigger wrists will definitely enjoy this just as much, if not more. And yeah, perfect pick up and go quartz piece, really. This is seriously a lovely watch. The quality is there, as well as it being so attractive. There are, as always, some downfalls to it, however. It is a quartz piece, so instantly not everyone's cup of tea. That being said, I also imagine there's a few people that wish that this was a Mecha Quartz Seiko movement, which I imagine wouldn't be much of a cost difference. While the dial is really nice and looks exactly as it should for a vintage piece, the golden tones to the markings on the subdials and the minute track of the dial blend to the colour of the dial a little bit more than I'd like them to, and does take away from the legibility of the piece. Finally, I absolutely love the bezel on this piece. Definitely adds a little bit of a unique flavour to it. However, I'm not confident in how useful it actually is. Maybe I'm missing a point here, let me know in the comments, but at the very least, the marking should be more legible if you actually are going to use it. Overall, it is an amazing watch and not something that you'll see every day. Honestly, it's exactly what I've come to expect from Baltany. They make incredibly affordable vintage military style pieces, and they make them to a really high quality that we can all really enjoy and afford, which I think has actually become their unique selling point to the market at the moment. I hope you've enjoyed this watch as much as I have. It's become an everyday pick up and go piece for me, and it has caught plenty of eyes whilst it's been on my wrist. If you'd like to pick up your own, I've linked Baltany's Aliexpress store in the description. They're around the £130 mark at the minute. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and as always, remember to subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.